last week something really interesting happened. My team, my product and design team, I was just looking at their, well, I was not eavesdropping, but I just happened to look at what they were doing on the screen. And they were asking the same question again and again and again to this incredible piece of technology that we use on a day to day basis. And the question was, which one to choose? Which one to choose? Which one to choose? Now, what's happening in the last few days and in this last few months is we are bombarded by an innumerable number of choices. Now, because it's become really easy to get an answer from AI, you do not know when to stop. And as somebody who studied psychology in college, I was thinking about that we humans have always prided ourselves in being the most intelligent and smartest species on the planet because we could reason, we could think, we could judge. But now there's somebody, there's something which is gazillion times better, gazillion times faster in reasoning, in thinking, and in coming up with answers. Then are we truly the most intelligent species on the planet now? What do you think? Raise your hands if you feel we are still the most intelligent species. Okay, I see some of us still are in doubt. Okay. Now, what's happening is, in order to understand what's really going on, we need to look at ourselves first. How did our own intelligence blossom? Human intelligence evolved to tackle survival issues. You are an intelligence, or we are an intelligence, which is backed by something called a central nervous system, which makes you feel, which makes you fear, which makes you love. Your intelligence is not in coming up with the right answer alone. Your intelligence is also in when you bring your hands forward, when you shake hands with someone, you know the right amount of pressure to apply. Or when you're in a situation, okay, show of hands, tell me, have you ever taken a decision which was purely gut based, where all the data, everybody around you said something else, and you did what your gut told you, and it was right at the end of the day? And my friends, this is what scientists call as embodied intelligence, embodied cognition. What it means is intelligence just does not live in the head. It is spread across the entire body. It's in every cell of you. But this is something which this great piece of technology that we call as artificial intelligence does not possess. It has no remorse. It has no emotions. And the biggest one of all, no sense of responsibility. Now, essentially, you're dealing with a piece of technology which doesn't have a nervous system. And what it is doing to us is it is making us it is making it very difficult for us to make choices. Now, why this is happening, let's try to look at it. A couple of years ago, when you wanted an answer for something, it was very difficult to get that answer in the first place. Maybe you had to go to a library, you had to talk to your friend, you had to talk to your teacher, or you could Google. But there was a certain limit to which you can get those answers. Maybe first one, two, three links, or if you were someone like me who could go to page number 19 in finding the answer. But still, there was a limit. Although, in order to go to page 19, you should have a lot of time in your hands. But now, what's happening is in a second, you're bombarded with 10,000 choices. Now, what it does to your brain is you're not able to trust anymore. You're not able to take a judgment. I know growing up, the moral authority figures have always told us do not judge, do not judge. But my friends, I'm here to tell you it's time to judge. It's time to bring our judgment back. Now, what's happening is on a psychological level, let's understand how trust works. I'm talking to a friend. Now, because I know who he is, I know how his life experiences have been. If he tells me something, I know how much of it to agree, how much of it to take, how much of it to ignore. I know when he's lying and when he is not. Why? Because you know his story where he's coming from. But with AI, what's happening is these are black boxes. You give an input and you get an output. The in between mechanism, the in between process, or you knowing the story of your friend is what which enabled you to trust. So now something really different is happening. When we have an immense capacity to generate answers, our ability to trust has gone down, our ability to judge has gone down, and we are more clueless than ever. So now what's the solution? The solution to it is you need to get back to your body. Your body will tell you what's the right answer. Your body will tell you what to do, what not to do. Maybe it won't tell you the right answer, but it would tell you an answer which you can back. In that moment, you felt something, you agreed with it, you agreed with the suggestion, you went ahead. Later on, maybe it didn't work out, but at least you have a reasoning, you have a basis to defend that. But when you're dealing with a piece of technology which is endlessly throwing away suggestion after suggestion after suggestion, that moment will not be enabled by the technology itself. That is where we as human beings, our intelligence comes into play. So, our emotions, sorrow, joy, fear, these are not something which is based, which is on top of intelligence. This is what intelligence is in the first place. Our intelligence, human intelligence, is a combination of biological software plus a biological hardware. And when you combine this, you unlock a greater sense, a greater possibility within yourself, which allows you to make decisions, which allows you to be confident, which allows you to make choices. And that is what is the need of the hour. Now, I don't remember the name of this psychologist. And these European people, I always struggle with their name. But this guy said that there's a difference in knowing that versus knowing how. Technology is great at knowing that. It knows you ask a question, it will give you something, but it doesn't know the how. And why that is so is because artificial intelligence is not the intelligence the way humans have known it. Artificial intelligence, if you look at it, is nothing but prediction at steroids. It's very good at predicting. It's a prediction machine. How does that work? You take a model, you feed it some information, and then you ask a question. And the answer that it will return to you would be the most likely answer in that scenario. Basically, when Netflix recommends you or any other OTT platform recommends you a movie, it's not recommended to you personally. It's just telling you that for someone with this kind of behavior, there are 10,000 people out there who watched this movie after that, hence I'm giving this to you. It is the statistically most right answer. And what's really uh, one thing to think about here is a lot of times you might find this answer to be the right answer. But because you have not gone through the process of finding the answer, you will not be fully convinced of the choices that you're making. Now, as we step into an era where we will be bombarded or we are already bombarded with a lot of information around us, it is really important to bring our sense of judgment. It is really important that we bring our intelligence where it was originally equipped. I mean, to start using your emotional faculties. A lot of people ask me that, Himanshu, are you against AI? And I'm like, no. In fact, I have built AI products. I work with AI startups. I work with organizations who are going heavily deep into researching what AI can do. But this also raises a very important question. What is your future or what is my future in an era where everything around us will be enabled by an artificial intelligence? And the answer to it, every time I went down this rabbit hole, I came down to that one single answer, which was judgment, judgment, judgment. Know when to stop, know when to start, know what to ask. One amazing thing which is happening these days is people don't really debate the answers. You get an answer from an AI, you're not really asking how did you come to it or why should I go with it. You're maybe telling can you make it better, or the most used one these days is can you make this. I'm sure if you're writing an email or an essay, the next prompt usually is can you make it human. What is that human? That human is, why did you come to it in the first place? What was your choice? What was your reason behind exploring this, behind trying to ask this question? That is what we need to bring in. And if we look at the way technology is evolving these days, that day is not very far where every, from smallest to biggest, every decision would be taken by machines around us. And I dread the day that if that happens, would that make me dumb? And the answer to it is no. It's not there to make me dumb. It's just telling me that, Himanshu, it's time to judge. So I want to end this with, on this note, that it's time to judge. There's nothing wrong in judging. Thank you.